just a bunch of toxic males. It's Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge, with Alora OG Star Wars girl, Geeky Candy, and your hostess with the mostest, Mary Mayhem. Good evening out there in YouTube land. Do not adjust your sets. That's right, you've got three foxy ladies hanging out on Midnight's Edge.
Fucking Alora.
All right.
And that's the first thing we say. Fucking Alora.
Hello. Now.
And they were so good.
You're an asshole.
All right. Okay, let me introduce these ladies. Of course, right below me here we have Alora, the OG Star Wars girl. Introduce yourself to the fine folks out there.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'm the fucking Alora Baga, OG Star Wars girl here. And you can find me on YouTube at OG Star Wars, bringing you the Legends content, the new hope for what's going on with Disney now. Come to my channel, visit me on Twitter. And thank you for joining us here on Toxic Femininity.
And to my, well, it'd be my left on screen, but right on in front of me, Geeky Candy back again from vacation. How you been? How you doing? Welcome back.
Yes, I was in Vegas for like 2 weeks, and I left Vegas. I came home and I got bronchitis. So if you hear me honking a whole bunch like a fucking goose tonight, that's why. And I'm a little bit tripping on codeine cough syrup, but I also have my albuterol ready to go. So I am feeling awesome tonight, and I am so excited to get into the news with you guys because I'm feeling about as toxic as Amber Heard, apparently, tonight.
Bullshit.
Oh no.
or I'm sorry, or Johnny Depp's finger. And that must have been what was really toxic. I mean,
can we steer clear of Lorena Bobbitt territory?
Fingergate.
Now you made me forget what I was going to say. All right, last but not least, the mistress of mayhem, the mistress of ceremonies, Mary B herself.
Well, hello.
Welcome back once again.
Hi, I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and there are so many narratives to disrupt tonight. And official women card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where I talk about shit sometimes. And, you know, this stuff.
Whatever she just said.
Yeah, stuff.
And to kick things off, we got a couple super chats, ladies. Whoever wants to take these.
All right, Teresa Martin for $1.99. She says, "Good evening, my fellow toxic females." Hey, Teresa, you are awesome sauce. We got to get with you sometime soon, chick. Seriously, Teresa's awesome sauce. I do not spend enough time with that woman. She's amazing. Love your face, girl. Our fellow toxic women in the house. And then, of course, Crazy Eyed Jedi for $5. $5 make you holla. He said, "To save the world, toxic men and women must breed a toxic generation." Are you hitting on me? On me, sir. That's cool. I'm good with it. What an ass. What a bitch. What a cuck. ABC for $2 says, "Hail, everyone." I love ABC. He's awesome. You should see. Well, if you're not following him on Twitter, you should follow him over on Twitter. The guy is, he's a beast. He's a beast with the memes. He's hilarious. And we love him. We love him to death. So worth a follow.
The guy knows how to meme. His meme game is strong. Just put it that way.
He actually, I'll bust myself out here real quick. He actually did this little meme right here. And I actually, nope, that's private. I decided.
Oh, this is going to get really toxic, huh?
My background here. It's so bright. I should turn it down. I actually decided to make it the background of my phone. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that was a picture of like, it was like a Star Wars picture. It was Lando.
Yeah.
It was Han,
Yeah.
Luke, and it was Leia, and he photoshopped Drunk's, Ryan's, and Fox's head and my head onto it, and I was like, I love this. I need to hug these people. This is my background on my phone. So, and that's
that is amazing.
So
Nice.
Love that guy. Now he's moved into my actual real life at this point. So
Nice.
So yeah, we got a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh yeah.
We have so much shit to talk about, and I blame Alora for Candace having the whooping cough.
I'm just happy it's not coronavirus, y'all, because it's Chinese New Year in Vegas right now, and I was like, you guys, like, all over the place. I was a little nervous, but I'm glad to be back in safe Utah, where Chinese New Year is not really celebrated anywhere. So there you go.
I blame Alora and her fucking taquitos.
All the taquitos are good. You missed out. Mm-hmm.
You're an ass. All right. Well, we got some topics to get into tonight. Quite a few things to discuss. A lot of toxic shit to go through tonight. So do you want to hit that thing, Tom?
Pretty quick here. If somebody can share the thing I got in the chat, the YouTube thing, because my thing ain't working right. Stig Kenobi wants to get our reaction to his latest video before we get started. If one of you ladies want to, I got the link there in the...
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. And I'll pull it up here.
One of y'all. Because Firefox doesn't like StreamYards.
I don't even see the link, but I know where he exists at on.
Yeah, it's his latest video.
Give me 2 seconds here, and I will pull it up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, just gonna say, this is my first live stream, and I think like about 10 days. So I'm feeling a little bit rusty, and I hope I don't I don't know. I hope I'm coming in clear and my mic is working.
Speaking of Stig, yeah, that's what I was going to say. You got the coronavirus, you liar. You went
I know.
to Vegas and got it.
I know. I was so nervous when I went to the doctor's. I was like, please don't be corona. Please don't be corona.
All right. Here we go. All right. I got it.
We got Amber Heard is a stupid sociopath.
What the hell happened to Believe All Women? Believe All Women.
Well, we'll hold off on that since we're doing this little reaction here. So let me go ahead and hit play.
And Stig is in the chat, by the way.
He knows my reaction. So, all right, here we go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to my least top 5 list of 2020. So, least favorite 2020. Number 1, obese skin dog. Don't like them. In fact. Number 2, number 3, brown lumps in the field.
Is that just
Don't like lumps in the field. Least of all brown ones. Number 4, motherfucker. Number 5, deformed deer. Can't eat them. Can't have them as pets. Nothing. Anyway, that was my least top 5 list of 2020. Take care and be well, and thanks for watching.
So do check out Stig Kenobi's channel, guys.
He literally should have said motherfucker right at the end there.
Oh shit. I love Stig. I love you, Stig. That's hilarious.
Yes.
All right, let's do this thing. Why not?
All right, guys. Oh my gosh. It was trending yesterday on Twitter. Hashtag Amber Heard is an abuser. Hashtag justice for Johnny. So for those of you who are not caught up on some of the drama that went down with those two, back a few years ago, they were married for roughly 2 years, a little less than 2 years. I think it was about 18 months. And well,
that's like 10 years in Hollywood, though.
Right? I'm in love with you. I know
like 10 Hollywood marriage years.
Disney has definitely impacted the way that I see relationships. So, we're going to go get married now. So they were together for a little less than 2 years, and there was a lot of accusations being thrown around. So Amber Heard decided to throw around the accusations that Johnny Depp abused her, that he physically assaulted her continuously. She put out pictures of her with bruises all over her face and body. And so it impacted Johnny Depp quite dramatically, actually. He lost work over this. He lost Pirates of the Caribbean over this. Now, look, set aside for just a second whether or not you think there should have been more Pirates of the Caribbean movie, because that's not what this is about, okay?
Because let's be honest, nobody wants to fucking see more Pirates of the Caribbean. But yes, do go on.
Well, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Nobody necessarily wanted more Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but that's not the point here.
Right.
The point is the guy lost work. Mm-hmm. He lost credibility. He was blacklisted by people. He was canceled. This impacted
and he lost
we'll get to that. So we will get to that. So during the process of all this, she threw around the accusations that he had physically assaulted her, and it drastically impacted his life. Now, he, of course, responded to that with defamation lawsuits. They've been going back and forth. While there was some stuff released that vindicated Johnny Depp quite a bit. This all trended on Twitter yesterday, actually for not as long as I would have liked, as I would have expected to see something like this trend. And near as I can tell, it's gone pretty much ignored by the mainstream media, at least certainly more ignored than it would have gone and did go when it was in the opposite direction. So when Amber Heard throws it out there, oh, he abused me, he hurt me, and she did put up some pictures. Now, we can't prove that the pictures that she put up where she had bruises and things like that, that those were committed by Johnny Depp. We can't prove that.
She's pretty good at makeup too. I'm just gonna say that.
We can't prove that they were, like, as far as I know, there's no medical proof, just some pictures, right? Some pictures.
Allegedly.
Some allegations. Well, Johnny Depp, turns out, has some proof. Has an admission made by Amber Heard on tapes. So they did some therapy sessions, if you will. It doesn't seem like there was a mediator or therapist present for these particular conversations. It doesn't seem like there was someone else in the room, which may have contributed to why Amber Heard sounds like a psycho in these tapes, like a complete psycho. So I listened to about 40.
She's literally that bitch, like that crazy ass bit, like that. Everyone talks about that crazy ass bit. That's Amber Heard, you guys.
Yeah.
You know what? People owe me an apology because I called her a fucking liar and everybody got pissed at me because you know what? I know crazy when I fucking see it.
I have a tendency not to believe women in Hollywood.
I'm
so I was
crazy.
one of the few that didn't either. I just look at a woman like that and I'm like, she's probably lying.
I got a lot of nasty messages after I said I didn't believe her.
I'm horribly biased against women. God damn it.
Well, the problem here, is that we wound up with a situation where Johnny Depp, he got canceled, guys. Like, this is what cancel culture does. Without information, without legitimate, full-fledged information.
Zoe Quinn.
Here's the other thing. This guy has dated about 20 very high-profile women in fucking the last 30 years. Nobody has ever made a claim like that about him before.
It's that's
a great point.
Absolutely. It's completely out of the blue. It's out of his character. In fact, if you listen to the full tapes, the guy sounds like he's like half asleep. Now he's on some Xanax, as I understand it, but he's so chill. He's so chill and relaxed during these conversations, and she keeps amping it up.
He's Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's completely and utterly relaxed for most of this. So I went in.
What do you expect? He's going to be on Xanax, all right?
Yeah, like
poor guy.
Sorry, few. Well, she feeds it to him. That was one thing that I was like, and the tape, I heard her feed him. He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm getting you another Xanax. It sounds like that one's worn off. And I'm sitting there going, how can you fucking tell? He sounds half dead. Like, why would you give this man another Xanax? Like, he's barely, at any point during this entire thing, did he barely pipe up to sort of like try to even, I mean, he never got aggressive ever in the entire course of the conversation.
Although I'd be okay with an aggressive Johnny Depp.
Right? Even in Pirates of the Caribbean, he's still half drunk.
That's why he was wobbly. He was on Xanax.
Tom, you've got a Pirates of the Caribbean impression, don't you, Johnny Depp? You got one, don't you? Just put you on the spot.
Keep her away from the rum.
There you go. All right.
Where's the rum? Had the rum.
Close enough.
Keep Amber away from the rum.
There you go. That's good. Put you on the spot there.
All right, so I've got a little bit of a clip here. I've got a couple clips that we're gonna play, and we're gonna sort through this. For those of you who haven't heard these clips, she literally admits to the violence in these clips. And I wish I had the other part. I wish I'd thought to pull that up. I'll talk about
so that. Yes, please believe all women when they admit their violence.
Totally.
Okay?
No, as I've always said, yes, listen to women, hear what they have to say, hear them out.
Really believe them,
but it doesn't mean you always have to believe them
But
without proof.
It's what is it? Believe but verify or something like that?
Exactly. You need proof. That's my thing.
All right, so let me go ahead and hit this play button for you guys, and hopefully you will be able to hear this. I'm assuming I'm going to turn it up pretty decently loud here.
Go do that. I said, no, tell them what just happened. And I lied. And that you punched me in the fucking thing, and you spit me in the face. And you said, no, fuck it. No, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? and I watched you lie, and then I
didn't punch you.
And
by
then
the way, I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe. You're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You've been a lot of guys been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a closed fist.
You get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the boat motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are.
Oh,
that's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you start physical fights?
Such a baby.
Because
Grow the fuck up,
Because you start
Johnny.
physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did. So I had to get the fuck out.
So that was one of the things that blew my mind about this conversation. Between
This is my first time listening, by the way. I didn't want to. I want this to be my
But just
initial
think about
reaction.
how fucked
That's
up
insane.
he is, and he's
That is
still
insane.
he's still at least coherent enough to make a recording, and he knows what he needs to get out of her.
Well, not only that, she lambasts him after he points out you can't just hit people, right? Like, you punched me. And he tries to stand up, and like, even when he's standing up for himself, he still sounds like a half dead dog. He's like, don't tell me what it's like to be punched, right? Like, this is the most aggressive he gets at any point during the entire conversation.
Yeah, she's sitting there calling him a bitch in so many words.
He goes, how's your toes?
She lambasts him. She calls him a baby for not wanting to be physically assaulted.
All right, I want to say something right now, and then I'm going to shut up for the rest of this and let you ladies handle this. I'm sure, and none of you have to admit this or anything, but I'm sure if any of you have ever been in a relationship that was abusive, at least with an abusive man, do you think you could talk to a guy like this who abuses you?
No. No. The thing is she was so insanely manipulative throughout the course of this entire thing.
I'll tell you what, I've known women. Yeah, I was gonna say, I've known women who have been physically abused, and there is no fucking way in hell they would dream of talking to the man that hits them like that.
Yeah. Well, no, because you would be scared you would bring it back on.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, I'm going to shut up about this, and I see Anna in the chat, so I'm going to send her the link. If she pops in, she pops in. So I'm going to shut up now.
So the thing that blew my mind about this, and there's this really insane double standard that's in place here. He says, sorry, real quick, $10 super chat from Trace XL. He says, they tell you don't stick your D in crazy.
There is no D in crazy. That's true.
Amber Heard is the perfect example of why. Also, it doesn't matter if you hurt him, Amber. It's still assault and battery, and you're the bitch for that. Now, here's the thing. We've seen pictures of Johnny Depp when she scratched his face off, and we're about to get into the finger thing, Siri, here in just a second, so hang tight. We've seen pictures of him. He had a black eye, scratches all over his face, giant lumps where it had swollen up, okay? Yes, that hurt. Yes, that is assault. Yes, that is physical craziness. Okay?
Is she ever going to get charged for that shit?
Guaranteed not. Won't. What she did do was after
female
she
privilege
physically assaulted him, after she committed domestic violence towards him for nearly 2 years, she then decided to turn around and accuse him of the thing she was doing, and everyone just believed her.
Can I just say one thing real quick? What really pisses me off about this, and I have a lot of family that's in law, and I see so many times misrepresentation of the father in domestic issues regarding children. And it's so fucking unfair because there's so many good like fathers out there that get they get nothing. They get nothing. And it's always the mom's word. It's always, it pisses me off. And then people like this bitch perpetuate all of that with this deceit, this finger pointing, this hijacking of movements to better her look, and at the cost of Johnny Depp's career. Fuck her. Fuck you, Amber Heard. Fuck you.
So his
then,
oh, I'm sorry, Laura. Go ahead.
Okay, and then looking at how she is the abuser, and she's using that verbal language against him. She's like, "Oh, I just closed my hands, but it was like a slap."
Yeah.
Which basically she's walking back typical abuser behavior. They are trying to change the narrative to make you look wrong, to make them look right, to make them look
Yes.
like a victim.
Yep. She makes herself to look like a victim throughout this entire thing. And his main thing was, so I listened to, like I said, I listened to like 45 minutes of this, and it was a really bizarre thing to kind of creep into this very personal conversation, right? She was like, hey, don't act like you don't always get physical as well or whatever, right? There was only one time during the entire conversation that she asserted that he had been physical in response to her. Keep that in mind. In response to her violence. She was like, don't act like you don't get physical too. And he goes, I pushed you one time. This was after she'd gone crazy. And so he wanted the violence to stop, right? Because he was saying, this is where it's headed though, because she'd pushed him to that point, right? He was like, we can't get violent like that. We're a crime scene waiting to happen. I don't want to do that. I don't want us to be a crime scene. And so that was kind of the lead up to what you're about to hear here, which is all he wants throughout the entire conversation. This is all he wants from her, is to be able to get some space when she acts violent. So here we go. Make sure that's turned up for you guys.
Thing to me, and it is a major.
If things get physical, we have to separate. We have to be apart from one another, whether it's for fucking an hour or 10 hours or fucking a day. We must.
Hey, Anna.
Oh, hey.
There can be no physical violence.
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it.
I can't promise you.
So don't date anybody.
I have heard,
psycho.
I'm sorry, I've heard abusive guys when women have told me what they've said that kind of shit, but they don't ever say that I can't promise you. Their first thing is, I promise, baby, I'll never do it again.
Exactly.
She can't even fucking admit that she can't even lie to his face. I'm sorry. I can't do this no more.
And the thing is that she will provoke him for him to fight back, and then she will use it against him because she's a woman and say, "Oh, he abused me," and they will believe her faster than they would believe him because of the precedence that is set towards women.
By the way, welcome, Anna. Welcome.
Yes. Hi, Anna.
We're not dying this time.
Glad you are here. We want you more often. Pop in anytime. You are welcome, doll.
What day of the week is it today? Is it Monday?
Monday. Yeah. Monday.
Okay, that's when you guys usually do it.
Yeah. Mondays at 10 Eastern, 7 your time. So yeah.
Gotcha.
So throughout the course of this entire discussion, she has the complaint that she keeps lobbing towards him is that you walk away. You keep walking away when we should be sorting this out. And he's like, I walk away because you get violent.
Well, do you guys remember, because one of the first stories I heard when, hearing about this and how, first off, I was like, okay, he married a lesbian because Amber Heard got famous for being the first lipstick lesbian in Hollywood. And I remember hearing this and I'm like, well, why? All right, he's Johnny Depp. I guess, he can turn lesbian straight. All right, it's Johnny Depp. All right.
Good for him.
I know, good for him. And also, I'm like, all right, well, he's got money too, and he's Johnny Depp. So I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want him. But then when I heard, they're breaking up because of domestic violence, and I was like, okay, every single woman that Johnny Depp has been with, no one has ever said anything about that. That they say he's got drinking problems. He, sometimes has drug problems. He spends too much money. He has a crazy lifestyle, but I've never heard anything about domestic violence. And so I was like, all right, let me look into this. And one of the first stories I saw, because remember the pictures of her face and she had like a cut right here.
Yeah.
And I thought it's because he threw his phone at her because she was coming after him. And he told her to leave him alone and she, wouldn't leave him alone. Yeah. And so he threw his phone. And I was like, okay, well, I wouldn't consider that domestic violence. I don't think that's bad because, you don't know if he was aiming at her or not, or if he just threw his phone out of frustration because maybe they were talking about a text or like a phone call or screenshots or something. And he threw it because he was pissed and it accidentally hit her. And I'm like, that's very different than a man, like, physically beating you.
Right. Right.
And so for her to do
It's
that,
not like a Chris Brown incident.
yeah, exactly.
Or 1/3 of the
She's, like,
NFL.
going hard. So I was like, that doesn't seem bad, but she's going around pictures of her crying. Let me show you my tiny little scab, and it's like,
Dude, did you see that bit where she was like hugging that domestic abuse survivor who was a male?
Fuck out of here with that.
What a fucking hypocrite.
Like an event or whatever, and there's a male domestic abuse survivor, and he stands up and she goes over and she hugs him like they're kindred fucking spirits or something.
and she's over here beating the shit out of Johnny Depp.
Over there,
That's typical though. And I haven't had a relationship, thank God, with somebody who's abusive, but I've known people who have, and and it's been guys, and they're conniving, so deceitful, manipulative. I can see that, like definitely a characteristic, a behavior that would match that. But God, I just hate it when people use these platforms
come in and say that stuff.
Huh? What?
Sorry,
What
Cameron.
was
No, I'm just giving you guys topics if you want to throw them in. I'm just
are you in the private chat? I am so sorry.
yeah, no, that's fine. I don't like to interrupt the ladies. I just throw things out there in case.
Because that's
I just said, well, not only that, his demeanor, he knows he's recording, right?
Yeah,
and she never questioned.
They probably had a joint or something too.
Aware
I mean,
that
it's Hollywood.
They're both aware that this is going down the way that it is. That's sort of the point, right? Is for them to go back and reflect on it.
She knows it's recorded too.
Yes, they're both aware. They're doing.
Oh wow, I didn't know she.
I
knew
imagine what she's like when she doesn't know she's being recorded.
Right, I was just gonna say that. I didn't know. I thought
She's got to be really fun.
That's what makes it even worse because she
She's
thinks
still
that
acts this way.
her gender is going to protect her.
Yes,
that shit crazy female privilege. Love it.
She knows it's
Love
being
it.
recorded. She's
Wow.
well aware of this.
That's Hollywood.
And she's still if you listen to this thing, you listen to him. He is chill, he is relaxed, he is calm, like Xanaxed out or whatever, right? And then you listen to her and she keeps getting more and more shrill at points and screaming and yelling at him for getting away from her when she's being physically violent towards him.
Sexist term
That's
saying
her complaint.
shrill. Come on, Mary, you're better.
See,
than that.
Matt G says with $2, Tommy was so Alex Kurtzman write Amber's dialogue. Yeah, it sounds that bad. Well, see, okay, now that makes sense. She knows she's being recorded too. I didn't know
So
that.
that's why
because-
she's trying to bait him as well.
Exactly. So yeah, and she's trying. So if this is her trying to sound sane, holy shit!
That's manipulative shit.
And it's why she won't admit to lying on the tape either. She won't admit to lying. This opinion here, but she's like, "What did I lie about? What did I lie about?" And he's like, "You lied straight to our friend's face when I tried to tell him that you were being physically violent towards me. You lied to his face," and she won't admit it. And I think that's because she knows she's being recorded here, right? So the whole point of the conversation, the reason it's like a 2-hour long tape is because it's meant to be therapeutic for them. They're supposed to be talking.
You said this is 2 hours long of just them back and forth acting.
2 hours of him.
Of her just
Oh, you
acting.
listened to the whole thing, didn't you, Mary?
I listened to about 45 minutes of it.
Damn.
So, yeah. It was a weight to slog through because basically it was the same thing over and over and over again. Him asking her to stop being violent. Him telling her this is a crime scene. We're going to wind up killing each other. He was like, this is the reason. God, he literally says something to the effect of, do you want one of those, this guy beat his wife up scenes? He was like, that's not what I want. And he's clearly saying it's because she keeps pushing him. She keeps pushing him and pushing him. And he's trying
She
to
wants him to hit her so that way she can play the victim.
Well, is he old enough yet that it would be
away
elder?
her beating him because she can use the whole, well, I'm a woman, I can't hit you as hard because you're a man.
Yeah.
And he's not going to do it because
Bullshit.
Johnny Depp's not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And also he's not an abusive
I'm
person.
so happy this came out for him because, you know, I what ego aside, because men's egos are men's egos, but like this is total
Women have egos,
vindication
too.
and it's nice because he's deserving of it. And it just,
Well, and it's a light that gets shined on these kinds of matters.
Yeah.
Problem here is that you have this cancel culture that doesn't care that Johnny Depp is a person. Like, regardless of whether or not you agree with his lifestyle or like his movies or any of that jazz, at the end of the day, this is a person who was beaten up for 2 years by this woman. And then when he walked away, when they split, when he said, I can't do this anymore. I can't continue living this insanely toxic environment. In order to get even, she accused him and slandered him and ruined his life, added insult to injury.
And he didn't say anything. He kept it quiet.
Yes.
She needs to be like our
He could've
toxic
ruined
femininity
her life.
mascot.
Dude,
Like when that was happening, when she was saying out, he could have dropped this right then and there and just, completely ruined her life. And he didn't.
No, it took him years to drop this.
But he was drugged up.
Yeah, years. She cut off his fucking fingertip.
I know.
She,
The fingering.
like, yeah, seriously. And then she
like the new horror story.
doing this to himself, right? She claimed that he cut off his own fingertip, then dipped it in paint, and then drew on a mirror.
What the hell did that fingertip do to you? God
But
damn
he
it,
has no-
Amber.
He has no history.
Actually, if anything, I'm
for
hoping.
her.
Never mind. I'm not getting into that one.
I know. Tom, you know
Is
where
he-
I'm going with all that.
Is he old enough yet? Is he old enough yet that it would be considered elder abuse?
Don't say that. I love him.
I know, but the dude's not young. He's definitely in his
He's
60s.
not young.
probably.
No.
He's almost in his 60s.
If he didn't dye his hair, he'd
He's
be
wearing
like,
I want to say he was
Thick
born in
glasses.
at least 69. Yeah, I was going to say 66 or 69. he was
Giggity.
born.
The only silver
69.
lining to this is that he didn't put himself through more Pirates of the Caribbean.
Anna's hunting now. She's like, I have to know.
I'm a fan of the Silver Foxes too,
He's
Anna.
56. I know he wasn't older than my parents.
Wow.
Six.
Sorry.
Oh,
Leave Anna alone. You let her
He
have
has the same age as Quentin Tarantino.
I don't care. I'm just saying. I was just making a
I have a
point.
thing for Pierce Brosnan, and he's fucking hella old. But I can't
Oh,
help.
I was just
myself.
looking at a way we could have this bitch charged in some way. That's all I was looking at.
I have a thing for Jeff Goldblum.
Okay,
Mary, I
yeah,
have
he's
met
so
Jeff
great.
Goldblum. He is so majestic.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at him and I
He
could
rubbed
just like
my head and like stroked my hand. I was like,
That sexy olive man. But no, so this goes down, right? This goes down and goes down and goes down. She cuts off his fingertip. He still tries to sort this shit out, right? He had to have reconstructive surgery on his fingertip, and she has the gall, and she wasn't even open about it at points. She told people, I'm gonna ruin him, I'm gonna ruin his career. First of all, gold digger, sweetheart, are you gay or not?
yes.
he went through more with Amber Heard, like going through things and getting hurt more than Amber Heard than fucking Rey in all of Star Wars. Like lost the finger that probably Rey should have lost.
She should have lost something.
I would have been okay with Amber Heard slicing off her fingertip in
Mary.
means to get
Oh,
forced.
mama.
Just understand. I have like 6-inch heels on.
Oh, what? Take me with
Dang,
you.
look at you.
This is in-
Life
So
finds a way.
he's got his little band, and so tickets usually go on sale on Wednesdays, but like every couple 3 weeks or so, tickets will go on sale, and it's this little tiny jazz bar. So you pay $25, you get like a spot at a table, and then usually you want to get a group of friends, that way weirdos aren't sitting at the table with you, and you have dinner and you watch him and his jazz band play, and then he does it in the middle of the show, and at the end he'll stand there and everyone comes up and he'll shake your hand and he'll swing you around and like dance with you and like touch your hair.
Oh, how fun. Oh my God.
It's only $25. Do it.
Oh my God, this is happening.
That's cheap.
This
You
is
just have
Oh,
to
if you guys take me too, so I can geek out on
Is
him.
that on the West Coast? Is that in California? Like,
Yeah,
I guess so.
fuck you.
I
I
know.
love his chesticles.
It's in LA because I think he lives somewhere down here, so it's just he goes, does his gig, and then
I've
goes
loved,
home.
I love that man since Jurassic Park, where he was laying in the back of the truck.
Yes.
I love him since before that.
See,
So
I saw him
there.
on Independence Day first, and then we always had those like little videos of SNL, and so I think the first time I saw him was in the Canteen Boys skit, where they're having like a little flea market thing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't watch too much SNL when I was younger, but I remember because I saw Jurassic Park first, and then I found out he was in Independence Day, and my little like little girl lady parts like.
I saw him in Dirty Harry.
Mary,
Wish,
you
I mean,
can't
Death
say
Wish.
little girl
Death
lady
Wish.
parts on YouTube.
They were my little girl lady parts.
That was the first time I saw him. Was Death Wish.
I was thinking about Independence Day the other day, and I'm like, okay, in that one, he's not a scientist, but he's like a computer science person, right? And then I rewatched when I was sick, like bad 90s movies. So I watched, or 2000 movies. I watched Godzilla with what's his name? Matthew
Broderick.
Yes. And I'm just like, you know, he's supposed to be the cute guy in the movie. And I'm like, wow, back when I was a kid growing up and like watching these movies, the hunky guys were the smart scientists, the nerdy guys. And now they're like emo crybabies. I'm like, what happened?
And now every scientist you see in movies is a unrealistically good-looking female.
Yeah. It doesn't make
how that turns around.
With glasses, that makes it okay.
What a tangent we just went on, objectifying men in the way that we just did.
Or married, or women, or it's an Asian woman. So if they aren't Asian, they have glasses, and if they are Asian, they have glasses. And
Maybe it would be better if I just sat here and objectified Amber Heard, because she's clearly not good for much else.
I know. I remember back when I did my Aquaman, and I don't think I really did a review. I just kind of compared how it was shitty, but people loved it. And then The Last Jedi was shitty, and it's okay to criticize it. But the fact that Aquaman is such a shit movie and people love it, and if you say anything bad about it, they criticize you. And I remember saying, like, Amber Heard, you know, shit about how I didn't think she deserved to be in the movie after what she did to Johnny Depp. And that was before this stuff came out. And people were like, it doesn't matter because she's hot. And I'm like, she physically abused Johnny Depp. But you're okay with her being in the movie because she's hot? And I'm like,
well, and that was what blew my mind, was that so she accuses him, and in what looks like to be incredibly unfounded, of this insane domestic abuse, right? She accuses him, and he loses Pirates of the Caribbean, but she is the actual abuser, and she gets Aquaman. What the fuck kind of world do we live in right now? Like, this
women privilege.
Well, and that's
in a way it's going to work out, because now that she was in Aquaman, and you know, normies that don't pay attention to this kind of stuff, when she's not in Aquaman 2, they're going to be like, well, why? And then they'll Google, why was Amber Heard not in Aquaman 2? And it's going to be even worse for her.
Because Jason Momoa didn't want to lose a digit.
I will say that. I will say this. If she winds up being an Aquaman, and look, I actually enjoyed Aquaman. I thought it was a popcorn flick.
It's enjoyable, but it's not the best as far as storytelling.
Oh, no. I don't think a whole lot of, look, I just enjoyed
it. Was indulgent.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed looking at the pretty people up on stream doing the pretty.
I did too. I was so pissed when he had his shirt on. I'm just like, the first scene, I'm like, oh, yes. And then they put clothes on him, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't understand that. He looks pretty great without it. I don't understand why we needed to put them back on.
Particularly,
he worked so hard to look like that. I went to appreciate his hard work.
Exactly.
That's why I'm looking forward to Black Adam. Yes.
But look, it's not like she was particularly good in it, right? She looked really good, but she's not a stellar actress. She's serviceable when you accommodate the shit out of her, essentially, right? Like, if you give her absolutely everything she needs, she is serviceable at best when she happens to have good chemistry with the person that she needs.
I hear serviceable and my mind just goes weird. I think it's a funny word.
I didn't feel like they had good chemistry.
What?
I didn't feel like they had good chemistry at all. The mom and the dad at the beginning had more chemistry than they did.
And I didn't like the red hair on her. That's one thing I don't think she can do, is the red hair.
It's Ariel.
I know.
If you were going to pull off red hair the way that they decided to, she certainly did. But I felt like she was a mediocre actress at best. And I will say this, if you stick this woman look, because this is a moment where women need to kind of stick to their guns a little bit here, right? People need to stick to their guns. Let's stop having that. You took away Pirates of the Caribbean from Johnny Depp, right? You're so afraid. You took that away from him because you were worried there was going to be some kind of actual backlash. This needs to go both ways. The hypocrisy cannot stand. And if you stick this woman in Aquaman 2, you're not getting my money.
No.
She's gonna go back to being a lesbian now. Just watch. She's gonna be like, yeah, straight life wasn't for me. Guys, yeah, well, y'all take me back. You know.
I don't believe. Look,
LGBT She is there for me.
She bi, maybe, but I don't believe that she's a full-fledged lesbian, and here's why. Because you don't.
Yeah, she married a man.
Yeah.
You don't marry a guy. Is she bi? Sure, but stop. I guarantee you, she claimed the whole lesbianism thing in order to
They
get.
call that now homo-flexible. I've heard it. I've heard it being called hetero-flexible, where people who have like gay tendencies, they marry women because they truly believe that they love a woman, that they could be with a woman, and they call it hetero-flexible instead of heterosexual. And I'm wondering if that's like her thing.
So,
I know.
no.
There's like a new term every day for how you're swinging.
I need a fucking bi card. I need a bi card. Are you ready? You either bang both genders or you don't. That's bisexual. You either are interested in both genders or you aren't. That's bisexual.
I'm going to send you guys this article about how she did this whole thing, like, because when she came out as a lesbian, a lipstick lesbian in Hollywood, and she's like, it really impacted my career. Nobody wanted to work with me. People were typecasting me. And I'm like, you're so full of shit.
Yes, she is.
There's no way it did anything but help her. There's no way it did anything.
Yeah, it's
because you went into lesbians. I mean, no offense. You think of like, the certain aesthetic, and so she kind of made the lipstick lesbian a thing. She kind of what is the phrase? Coined that.
Coined the phrase.
That makes sense.
Coined
the phrase lipstick lesbian. And the only reason I know all of this, because when this was happening, I was in college, my roommate, she was a lesbian, and she was basically, Anna, let me explain all this to you, because I live under a rock. I don't know these things. And so she was telling me when they first got married, she's like, what the hell? I had such a big crush on her, and now she's with a man. And some lesbians, they kind of feel betrayed by that.
Lesbians will get pissed over that shit. They will get legitimately.
Well, because you give them a bad name. Because a lot of times people say, oh, lesbians aren't really,
it's a conviction, and that's what you're supposed to be. You don't just it's not an ebb and flow. It's a
lot of lesbians don't like bisexual women either, because they don't really get, you're just playing for all.
There's a division in the LGBT community, I think, over this right now about the gender fluidness of sexuality versus being born, because there's so often they're saying born gay, born queer, born this way. So the idea of it just shifting naturally one day and you just going, oh, I'm just this now. It's shattering a lot of the foundational principles that LGBT stand for.
I don't believe that it shifts. I think you always were, and you didn't necessarily realize or it felt repressed.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I mean, I know plenty of people that, friends that, when they were younger and in high school and whatnot, they had a high school sweetheart, then I'm friends with the guy in this situation. And, they truly loved each other, but after having kids, he realized, and he thought, maybe he's bi, or maybe he's just sexually curious kind of thing. And, he's just more open in that way. But, they grew apart, and he realized that he was gay, and they were still best friends. And she passed away a few years ago of a brain aneurysm, but, he's married now, and him and his husband have their children. And, when he talks about it, he's just like, yeah, I truly did love her, but, I always had this, and I just didn't realize it, because that's something, some people are born, they know exactly what they want. And some people don't realize what they want until, they're an adult, and later on in life.
And there are a million and one things that can repress something like that or make you not fully understand it. There are a million, but I don't think I don't think you change over time. No,
it's just something that you realize, because we're growing every single day. We're discovering new things every day,
right?
Especially about ourselves,
Our brains aren't even fully functioned till for women, it's not even supposed to be till the early 20s. So it's like, you might have tendencies and things, but there's things going on in your chemical makeup of your body that you still, and that's why it's such a complex issue. And it's just sad to see so much I just feel like people trying to dumb it down and make it so simple, and it's got to be this way, and that's it. And if it's not, then F you for not believing me in what I believe right now. And it's just it's unfortunate, but you know,
I
Amber Heard,
here's the
man, what a
thing.
representative, you know.
I don't believe that the woman is or ever was a straight lesbian. I think that she used the lesbian status to garner her a platform, to garner her some measure.
You want to come out as something shocking? Be a
Yes.
conservative in Hollywood.
Oh,
Good luck
there you
with that.
go.
So
Mhm.
stunning and brave, lipstick lesbian. Ooh,
But
yeah,
see, here's the
no.
thing
Try
is-
doing what Tim
You
Allen
guys think
does.
Brie Larson would come out as a lesbian if it would get her more movies?
Oh, fuck.
Oh hell no.
Oh my god! And here's the thing on
Oh,
this:
she's
is that
dating.
my-
What's that other one? That other chick that's in all the Thor movies. Ragnarok. What was her name? What's her name?
You talking about Padme?
No, in Thor. She's like the.
Oh my god, I know her name.
Yes.
Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, so what
There
if
you go.
yes, they come out as a couple and they are like power coupling in all the movies now. That's what they are.
That's so stupid.
And then you guys, my uncle, he of course was born gay and stuff, and he had that struggle in the time era where people frowned upon that, when that was very voodoo during his time. And so now we have these people picking and choosing and then using it to fit their status quo to get a job. And that's what I think she's doing. She's doing this to get a job because that's what's politically correct in Hollywood. And it shames everybody who's in the community, even bisexuals as well, because now you're making everything look like falsehood.
Well, all you have to do is be honest. I don't know. That's one of the problems here with all this is you place so much stock in a person's gender or in a person's sexuality. When you place that much stock in something that's incidental and has nothing to do with the genuine character of a human being, then you wind up getting people who will abuse it and who will take advantage of it. And so I feel like that's all Amber Heard does is she takes advantage of every situation she finds herself in. Oh, hey, Johnny Depp, I was converted. Let me go ahead and marry this super rich, super hot guy, and then just beat the shit out of him, and then turn around and abuse him even further, and now manipulate the situation because hashtag believe all women, right? That's just the kind of person she is. And I think
Could
she's
you
got a
imagine if she was a dude?
Oh yeah, she'd have been freaking strung up and shot.
Kristen Stewart did the same shit in this article, didn't she? Kristen Stewart talked about how because of what she, how she comes out and stuff like that, that impacted her ability to get roles and stuff like that too.
That's nonsense. It's complete nonsense.
Because at the same time, and then like just recently, because now she's trying to bring herself back, she's said in an interview, "Oh yeah, I totally would have married Rob," and I'm like, you straight up cheated in front of him and you weren't even sneaky about it.
Nope.
And then after she cheats on him, then she's like, "Oh, I'm a lesbian." I'm like, how many dudes in Hollywood have you been with, chick? Like, I don't care if you want to come out as bisexual, but don't like just say, "Oh, I'm a lesbian now." I'm like,
lesbian just sounds so much more progressive because being honest would suck too much, right? Being honest wouldn't get you as much progressive platforming. So yeah, I mean, like that's one of the crazy things about all of this is that you're able to just push this thing. Never mind that you've lived a lifestyle up to this point that indicates everything to the contrary. You're just going to claim this title. And I'm sorry, but that's insulting to every person who is a legitimate lesbian, who's actually struggled to be accepted. Every person who's actually had to come out to their parents. And I'm sorry, but that shit's scary. Okay. That shit's hella scary to come out to the people that you love when you don't know whether or not they'll accept you. That shit is legitimately terrifying. And there was a time frame where this stuff wasn't normal, where it wasn't mainstream. And that's insulting to everybody who had to actually fight to get this to a place where it was normal. That's a slap in the face. But we all know Amber Heard doesn't give a shit about slapping you in the face. Now, does she?
Oh yeah, she's slapping with her fist.
I didn't punch you. My hand wasn't like this. It was like this.
Literally
like,
what a dude would say that was defending his.
And you want to know?
abuse.
I want to know if she had rings on too.
Right.
Because if she had rings on and she's like backhanding him, that shit's gonna hurt and leave scratches.
There were cuts all over his face.
Did you have any more clips too, Mary, that you're going to show, or was those it? Because I didn't listen to it. I wanted my initial reaction to be tonight on the show. And those were fucking shocking.
I can post a picture of his freaking finger if you'd like. Now it's a little bit. I'll get a censored version. I'll get a censored version for you, my
the finger.
Yeah, it's freaking horrifying. So
here, while you look at that, I'll do a dramatic reading of this article. All right, you guys ready?
Do it.
All right.
Amber Heard says talking about her sexuality impacted her career. All right, let's go down.
Oh, wait, let me get my pearls. I'm going to clutch them real quick. Stop.
All right, let's see. Actress Amber Heard has revealed that speaking about her sexuality negatively impacted her career. Smallest violin in the world. The Rum Diary star said that filmmakers doubted whether she could play a straight woman in a romantic lead role after she revealed she was bisexual 7 years ago. Okay, I don't think she said that she was bisexual. I'm pretty sure she came out as a straight up lesbian. And it said that this was updated in 2017 when I think that's when she married Johnny Depp. So they might have updated that in. So I don't
just recently gotten divorced after that. So when I'm
because I don't remember. I mean, I don't know how much, because obviously I don't think she was that relevant back then, but I don't think she came out as bi. I think she just came out as a straight lesbian. So that might have been like an updated thing that they did. Because she might have tried to do damage control when she married Johnny.
Wonder if the Wayback Machine did.
Speaking at the Economics Pride and Prejudice event in New York, she said of discussing her sexual orientation publicly for the first time, "It did impact my career. It was difficult. It was not easy. I was the only one working this way. So it was definitely difficult because no one had done it." Hadn't Ruby Rose been out since she was a teenager? Hadn't Rosie O'Donnell been out? Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen fucking DeGeneres.
Exactly.
Jodie freaking Foster.
Yeah.
Jodie
Nothing
Foster.
happens before these girls are born. Nothing important.
That's the new generation.
All them has been out as a lesbian for decades, but Amber Heard was the first one, guys.
Totally. All right,
so friend.
I did that even though everyone told me it would end my career without a doubt. Jodie Foster, Ellen DeGeneres, Rosie O'Donnell, Ruby Rose.
Like, secretly, I'm gonna get more roles because of my sexual diversity.
Okay.
She wanted the LGBTQ plus whatever other letter numbers are added to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead and put me in Star Wars kissing another girl in the background, y'all. Because
and then cut it out
for it.
Because we're not going to stand by our word.
Yeah.
The actress said she was asked directly about her sexuality by a reporter in 2010, and she answered honestly and cut off the cuff. Then I realized the gravity of what I had done, she said. I started to understand why so many people, studio execs, directors, advertisers, agents, producers, why everyone was so adamant about this not being the label that comes before my name. I quickly became not actress Amber Heard, but out lesbian Amber Heard.
There you go, lesbian. Bam.
Campaign that shit. Her and her, I don't remember if they were married or not, but her and her girlfriend, fiance, whatever they were, they would go everywhere together. Let's go walk on the red carpet, me and my lesbian lover. Let's go to art galleries, me and my lesbian lover.
The attention was very nice. That they they liked it a lot.
I love this. So Jay Nunya in the literally says Ellen DeGeneres lost her sitcom when she came out of the closet. Ellen DeGeneres had to actually fight for something like this, right? Like this completely and utterly undermines the sacrifice and the work that people before her had to do to make it possible for her to go stroll down the red carpet with her lesbian girlfriend. Like this is a complete slap in the face to everyone who's actually had to work for it. Your little pity party, I'm sorry, but it doesn't hold any water. It doesn't hold any water at all because nobody gives a shit who you bang, Amber. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a flying fuck who you scissor with when you're at night.
And honestly, and come on, she's probably one of the strap-on type of girls. But if you want to get down to it, it's like Jodie Foster had been out as a lesbian. I mean, somebody shot the president to try to get Jodie Foster's attention, and then the entire world was like, "Bro, she's a lesbian," but she doesn't go around saying, "Oh, I'm a lesbian." No, she's like, "I'm Jodie fucking Foster." Oh, am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm Jodie fucking Foster, and I win Oscars, and I'm in all of these fantastic movies. And people don't typecast her because she's a lesbian. People don't look at her sexuality. They're like, no, her work speaks for herself.
Exactly.
This is
do your job.
This is virtue signaling at its finest, even back in the day.
That's exactly what it is. And look, obviously, we're not saying the woman isn't bi. That's not what we're saying here, because clearly she's with women, and that's it. But that's just it. Is that it doesn't matter. No one cares. No one cares who you bump uglies with at night. It has nothing to do with your mediocre ability to act at best. Like you're
And I'm so sorry, Tom, if I got you demonetized.
we're just not that into you, Amber Heard. We're just
Say-
not
I say the F word way too much. What are you talking about?
I
Sister
think
Har-
it's because of my strap-on comments.
Oh, no, doubtful.
Oh.
Sister Harold sent us $2 for a super chat saying hello. Matt G sent us $5. It's not revealed in the audio, but Johnny and Amber are arguing about Kenobi. No, Amber, they didn't cancel it. I bet my finger on it.
Or part of my finger on it.
Yeah. And Deranged Lunatic sent us $2. Did I hear Anna did Aquaman? Whoops.
What?
I have no idea.
talking about a review or something, I imagine.
Must have.
Oh, yeah, I did not go into review. If I
What the hell is this?
have that time with Jason,
That's
I know I'd be
his
bragging
finger.
about that.
This is Johnny Depp after he had the tip of his finger cut off.
Oh, okay.
He wheeled in on
He
a
looks like a
at
dead
him.
guy.
Okay, you know
Yes,
what?
he looks bad.
Totally off. Well, it has to do with the topic.
He's
Okay,
coloring
those
his
things that he has on him, the white pads, those
Those
are
are doggy pee pads.
Those are
Yes.
dog-
You use them
Or
as
if you have it, if you give birth, oftentimes that's placed underneath you.
Mhm.
Yeah, those
Fun
those
things you know.
are
Ryan Landis sends us $5. That evil bastard Johnny Depp was punching her fists with his face. Classic evil man move.
How dare you, Johnny? How dare you?
you shithead.
And then Sister Harold sends us Australian $2. Definitely demonetized. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
And then TechCom sends $2. Replace her Mira with legit redhead. No shit.
Ooh, that looks.
What a novel idea.
Holy crap.
Yes, she cut
Oh.
the tip of
Oh.
his finger off, people.
Just the tip, though. Just
Just
the
the
tip.
tip. Just the tip.
Just the
And
tip.
you know, I don't mind just the tip, except when I want my picture someone to get over.
You want just the tip to be there.
Now, to be clear, now I hate saying this because it sounds like I'm sticking up for her, but I'm not. But to be clear, this, I guess, was a complete accident caused by
So
her.
okay, yes. So we'll put
Allegedly.
Hold
For the
on.
people in the back.
We'll give the full context for this, what happened according to Johnny Depp.
Get that out of here. Blech.
You'll be, hold on, a freaking whiny baby. so he was acting cray cray one night, right? She was doing as she do, throwing shit at him, and she threw, as I understand, it was a bottle of wine that had been it was shook up, and it exploded when she threw it, and it shattered, and a shard went and sliced the tip of his finger off. So, and look, for anybody who's ever seen a bottle explode, or who's ever I've exploded. I'm a hick, okay? I'm a redneck from Kentucky.
So I have a similar experience. Can you guys see this huge scar down my middle finger? Like right here. It goes here all the way up to here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a glass jar that broke on me, and it almost sliced my entire finger off. I had to have. So I believe that yes, glass jars can hurt you, but if it's thrown by a crazy ass bitch, that's the difference. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So and look, here's what I'm going to put this into my own perspective here, right? Like, this is what I gather from the way that she behaves. Is she gets pissed off, right? Mm-hmm. She gets pissed off at something he does that she doesn't like, and she starts an argument. And then when he doesn't immediately give in and immediately tell her whatever it is that she wants to hear, or give her whatever it is that she wants, she escalates things. And then she escalates further, and then she starts throwing shit, right? And punching and hitting and smacking. And she thinks, because she's angry and because she feels like she has a right to be angry, that it's okay for her to throw shit and put her hands on him because she's a woman, right?
Santa Baby says, "Did you date Amber too, Candace? Man, she gets around." Because fuck off. I survived Amber, god damn it.
That's where the Amber Alert came from.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got a super chat from McKinney90, $5. Let's be real here. The bravest thing you can do in Hollywood now is coming out as a conservative or Republican.
Okay. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And then Clint Eastwood would be like, come over to my vineyard and we can drink wine together and talk about politics.
Jesus God. Look, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know that the pendulum will ever swing that far back to where we're at a place where like you can just be normal, where you can just think what you want. I don't know if the pendulum will ever go back to that, but we have to get it back to a place where women can't beat the shit out of men and then have those men lose their jobs. We have to get it back to a place where it can be somewhat normal, somewhat not insane, I guess, because this feels insane to me that a woman can lose her shit on someone the way that she did to this man.
And people wonder why the white male suicide rate is 70%
Exactly.
because of shit like this. Hello, Zoe Quinn. Meh. Can we just like, I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of men who don't have outlets because they get dogpiled on by social media the first moment anybody with a vagina says something negative about them, and it's fucking bullshit. And I'm pissed off. I have two sons. Like I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old boy, and I, as a mother of two white males, a blonde and a redhead, God forbid, I feel like the world is against, at least America is against them, just coming straight out of the gate. And it's just,
I know, because they're being persecuted for it. Nobody gets to pick what they look like when they're born. You know, you don't get to pick your parents. You don't get to pick your heritage. You just go with it because that's
right.
life. That's your life. You're born into. Nobody chooses it.
But it's like what we're saying. It's as if they act as if these conversations haven't already happened, right?
Yeah.
They act as if we haven't already come to a place where the vast majority of people, at least certainly here within the progressive world, right? Here within the Western world, and I'm not pointing at any specific countries. Okay, so everybody calm the fuck down. Right? But they act as if we haven't already sorted this out, as if we haven't figured this out already. We have. It's one of the reasons why you have a panel full of women sitting here going, y'all are fucking stupid, right? Because we don't feel oppressed. We don't feel like we've been held down by anything. What we do feel is fear for our family members, for our sons, for our brothers, for our fathers. We feel fear for these men who have to undergo.
Believe women at all costs. Don't look at facts. Don't look at anything. Don't verify shit. Believe fucking women. That shit terrifies me. This, okay, yeah, prove your innocence bullshit. You know, no, it's you have to prove his guilt. You have to fucking prove his guilt. And it's just, we're so backwards, and nobody fucking cares because they don't care enough to reintroduce fucking law and civics in our, I can go on and on about classrooms and what they teach kids.
They jump on the bandwagon of something and they just go with it and they don't know anything about it. And it's like, oh, well, men have been doing this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but you look at every single culture. There's bad people in every single, you know, ethnic backgrounds.
Yeah.
Don't blame guys in modern age for things that happened, you know, back in the 50s, you know, when women were housewives or traditionally housewives and men went to work. We evolved from that. That's no longer a problem. But then people going and criticizing things. I mean, I couldn't even imagine having 2 little boys and having to worry about what it's going to be like when
and being a fucking housewife. See, I live in the suburbs. I'm like the stereotypical, like, oh, you should not believe this way. You should be believing this way. You should be teaching your boys. And I'm like, no, my boys are going to be strong, traditionally strong males that love and respect women in the way that I teach them, because thankfully they're going to have a good example of that all around them. And that's what I think, that's where it all starts, is this breakdown of the family unit. And then you see things like this in Hollywood, because there literally is no family unit in Hollywood. And it's just
slicing each other's fingertips off.
You know what's funny is people that go and like say that kind of stuff on Twitter, how much you want to bet they're in a studio apartment sharing it with 4 other people and they're giving you shit, or you know what, people shit, and like women that have children that stay at home with their children, because that there's nothing fucking wrong with that. And they're like, oh, well, you need to be more progressive. Oh, white men bad. And it's like,
why don't you just let people do what they want to do?
Yes. Worry about yourself. Other people's lives aren't your problem.
Yeah, and just don't go chopping off men's fingers because you're crazy
or anything else. And here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. Domestic violence and hate knows no discrimination. It knows no gender, knows no race, nothing. So everybody has that ability. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. You can't excuse it because you're a fucking woman.
We got a couple super chats.
Sickos all over the place.
We got a couple super chats we got to get to. I guess we missed this one earlier. Dick's Picks sent us a super chat. Says, what does Amber Heard say to Johnny Depp sporting 2 black eyes? Nothing. She already told him twice.
She hasn't. Oh,
that's bad.
Interstellar Overdrive sent us $5. Lesbians actually have some of the highest rates of domestic violence in general. I've known lesbians who beat the shit out of each other.
You'd want to beat the shit out of that woman too. She's fucking nuts.
And I'll tell you one other funny thing. I read I was watching a documentary about something along those lines, and the lesbians that were accused of having violent tendencies were blaming the fact that they were mimicking traditional roles of men when they acted that way.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How's that?
Dude.
And Matt G, I know we got your one earlier. I don't know if you sent another one and I missed it somehow, but yeah, if I did copy and paste it or whatever.
And I've seen some guys saying like comment sections and on threads and things like that like, well, why is he worried about it? But like Johnny Depp's just a pussy. He's just a beta cuck male. Blah blah blah. Look, this isn't necessarily just about Johnny Depp right now. Okay, this is about every woman who has a male that she loves. Every woman who has a son want to see grow up in a world where it's okay to beat the shit out of a guy and then him get blamed for it. Okay, every woman who recognizes the double standard and the hypocrisy that sits in place right now and makes her fear for her son's life, not just because whether or not he may be murdered by some chick who sees no problem with stabbing the guy in his back when he's turned around and not looking because she can do it and she can get away with it, but maybe just offing himself because he means that little to everybody. So that's how I feel about that.
Take that.
I love that we just completely wrecked Amber Heard tonight. How's that for some fun toxic femininity? Mm-hmm. Fuck you, Amber Heard. Seriously.
Fuck her right in her left ear. We should probably at some point move on to the next topic.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to keep hating on this bitch.
Was there more to this article, Anna, or was that it?
Okay. I guess I can finish this. Heard was in a relationship with photographer Tesha Von Ree before she began dating Johnny Depp after meeting him on set of The Rum Diary in 2011. The couple married in 2015, divorced last year following allegations of domestic abuse. In papers filed with the court, Heard said that her husband had a history of drug and alcohol abuse and had been verbally and physically abusive during their 4-year relationship, which Depp denied. Well, this isn't aging well, is it?
Not at all, but she's a liar.
She straight up lied. I understand the drug and alcohol abuse. That, we know Johnny likes to party.
You literally married him knowing he did that.
I know. It's like, oh, I married a rock star, like a movie star, and oh, he likes to party and do.
Like,
how surprising. He spends like $30,000 a month on it,
Yeah.
Let's see. The former couple later issued a joint statement saying there was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. That was damage control, and we're seeing it all unfold. So that's the article.
Yeah.
And I was right in saying this. She is now back with another woman.
Really?
Ain't no man gonna take that shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now she's gonna say, well, I don't trust men anymore. I can't be with a man.
Oh, God. Poor me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In the first place, ho. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say, I know that she's pretty, but she doesn't deserve Johnny Depp. I wish, when I look back and I'm like, I really wish things would have worked out with him and Winona, and they had like 5 kids and we're still happy. Makes me sad.
We got a $2 super chat from TechCom says Amber Heard and media put the ass in astounding. Yes. So I know we got a couple other super chats we got to get to here, Tom, before we move on to the next topic. I see one from Daniel Nolan for $10. He says, long story short, I recently got fired from a job because an ex-girlfriend made a false abuse allegations against me in 2014. I get anxiety and panic attacks over this.
Oh,
yeah, that's a huge
worst nightmare for my kids.
Actually, if you can prove that they were false, you can actually sue her for loss of wages.
It's hard to do that. It is so
Bible right there.
Oh,
well, it depends. It depends what court, like where you live. Absolutely, it depends where you live, Tom. I wish it was that easy, but that's not the case. Most major cities will never. Most major cities will never do that.
Yeah, that is probably true. But
Depp lucked out by having this recording.
Worth checking.
Oh yeah.
So hardcore having this kind of evidence on his side, and look, you have to.
After the first couple of times, he's got to, you know.
Yeah,
he knew.
She's
He's
probably
like,
a Raylo.
Because you know sometimes maybe it was
Same.
at first she got drunk, she threw a bottle, or you know something happened, and it's like, okay, it's a one-time thing, she lost her temper, and then it happens again and then again. And so I think Johnny kind of caught on that it wasn't just a one-time thing. Women get over emotional sometimes, I know, you know, because I mean that's happened to me before. I've gotten so mad that I punched a wall, and it was the drywall, and I broke it. And it wasn't about relationship stuff or anything.
Women can hit hard.
I was just pissed, you know, and I'm like, ah.
When I was
Dark
a
side
teenager, I stuck a heel through my door.
Yes.
I do crazy shit.
Helpers, so
I don't cut men's things off though.
Yeah, exactly.
I frequently kick puppies, so you know. That's, I know. I'm just kidding. I've never kicked a puppy.
Yeah, so probably the first time he's just like, okay, and then it happens again, and maybe she didn't start off by hitting him, or you know, maybe she did like throw something or break something in the house, kind of thing. And then when she did start hurting him, then he started recording it because he's like, okay, there's a pattern here, and I need to protect myself.
This
also when new stuff happened, and he watched all that happen.
This recording was meant to be therapeutic. They knew they were being recorded. They both did. And so this particular recording wasn't meant to catch her in anything so much as it was meant to help them look back on the conversation and figure out how they can have better dialogue, right? And so that was the purpose of this recording in particular. And so, you know, there's a need there to actually talk about the shit that goes down, the shit that went down between them, because that's the whole point, right? And so he's like, I can't deal with the violence, and she's like, well, you can't just walk away. She won't even let him walk away.
Yeah, she's a manipulative ass bitch. You can just tell.
Abusers, they won't let you walk away because you give them power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they feel power over you.
The entire thing.
This is kind of to play devil's advocate in that it's like I've been in a relationship where, you know, we're trying to have a conversation, and I mean, you guys have seen me when I'm angry in videos. Imagine trying to argue with me over about like dishes not being done. So, and I just remember he wouldn't stay. He wouldn't focus on the conversation. Like if he knew we were trying to have a talk because we're dealing with a problem, and he would pull out his phone, or he would just leave because he didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to have that talk. And so when I hear that, I'm like, okay, maybe he's checked out because he knows it's not going to work, and maybe he doesn't want to. And so that's why he's leaving. So when I hear that, I'm like, maybe that was one of their problems. And, you know, that's, if you're trying to make something work, obviously you have to be there. You have to be present in the moment. So and I'm not justifying what she's doing as a reaction to that at all, but I can understand her being frustrated over him not being there.
And I do. I
agree with the crazy person, you know.
Yeah, if that were the angle, I would totally understand it. But within the context, like if you listen to the whole thing, you understand that within the context, he's literally responding to her. Yes, but I can't stay if you get physical like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she responds with, well, you give up on us. You don't fight for me. Like she wants him.
Why would you fight for you? You're beating him.
Like,
God.
She wants to fight her back.
It's so manipulative. And then she calls him a baby for not staying. I'm not really hurting you. Bullshit, bitch. You hit him with a fucking pot. That shit hurts. Okay, I don't give a flying fuck if you don't think it hurts.
No, and what a bitch for trying to breaking him down, trying to demasculate him, you know, by saying, you know, you're not. I'm sure she's probably, you know, said you're not a man to him, just like rude ass shit. If you're just a fucking baby and whatever the hell else, like
that provocative.
I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, that's verbal abuse right there. That's keeping the victim under you so that you can continue that abuse. You can make them feel that they're insignificant without you. I've watched that with my sister. She was in an abusive relationship, and he kept doing that to her, and she kept apologizing about it.
Yeah.
And so straight guys out there, converting a lesbian is not worth this shit.
Don't anyway.
Don't try that shit. Convert. It doesn't pay off. You're bragging rights to your buddies and all that fucking not worth it.
Can't convert a lesbian.
No,
okay?
No.
Look, if you get a woman who was bi to have sex with you, sure, I guess. Good luck. Have fun trying. But like, you're not going to convert a full-fledged lesbian because trust me, they want nothing to do with
no.
Nothing.
She just wanted to try it out, take it for a test ride, and yeah, She I guess wasn't that
Johnny.
excited about it.
So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over. We do have another topic. We have 2 more topics. And we'll see how we do.
Speaking of fucking weird Raylos, we got a Star Wars article for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
KK.
fuck the Raylos. I'm so sick.
With the transition game, you guys.
Raylos.
All right.
Alora's got lead on this one, y'all. Listen
All
up.
right, you guys ready for this? Okay, so of course, Star Wars is women. So we're continuing this topic about women and how
Before we
they
jump into this, why don't we get Trace XL's super chat real quick? Because it's about the last topic.
Yep. Trace XL for $10 says you don't have to hit him to hurt him. Men have to carry emotional scars from abusive women all the time, and is a major reason they either her themselves or both. It's disgusting. It's true. They completely accuse men on a constant regular basis of being emotionally closed off. But it's not that they're emotionally closed off. You've made them feel like they have no avenue.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go.
And accepting failure is a huge thing with men. The ability to accept failure is it's tough for guys. And so I can just understand him wanting to. I can understand sticking around for something like that just because of that quality in and of itself. That's from personal experience. I know guys that are just, that's one thing, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, the emotional damage to men from stuff like shit like this. Again, suicide rate, white straight males, 70%. So that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. And they carry everything so different than women anyway. So it's understandable, like the suicide rates, and it's tragic at the same time.
Yep. No doubt. No
but you won't hear about that in the media. Fuck straight white men.
But guys, men are toxic. You know that, right?
Can you say that again? Can you say that again, Candy, but say it real sexy like?
Fuck straight white men.
Okay, I'm going back there.
You know what you're doing.
Extra toxic ones, preferably.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Laura, we got that double down going on over here, not in a good way.
All right, so double down, yes, on this woman card here. And so we have this broad here that I cannot stand. I wish I can just friggin' throw darts at her. I'm sorry, but I mean,
that is a great idea for a live stream,
Can we
you
call her
guys.
the broad for the rest of the night, please? Call her the broad for the rest of the night.
The broad right there. She looks like she wants to flash, but no one wants to see that shit.
And that's not even a good Star Wars shirt. Come
No.
on.
This coming from the woman that's literally said that she hires people specifically who know way more than she does about Star Wars.
Exactly. And we're going to get into this because this has some interesting areas to touch in here. And I don't use that word lightly in this article because I do not want to touch her or any of this with a 10-foot pole. All right. So let's start this. Future Star Wars movie will be directed by a woman, says Kathleen Kennedy.
I'm waiting for my phone call.
All right. Exactly. I'm with you on this, darling. We make some great story group people here. By Sean Dapasquale. I don't know, but I don't care. All right. Star Wars producer Kathleen Kennedy says she future installment in the George Lucas franchise will absolutely be directed by a woman.
Because that's definitely the problem to focus on, guys.
Yeah. And you see, this is the thing, and this is why Hollywood is screwed the fuck up, okay? Lucas President Kathleen Kennedy says that a female filmmaker will direct a future Star Wars. Kennedy, who took over as president of Lucasfilm in 2012, recently saw production on the conclusion of the Skywalker saga. And fuck, I hate that word, Skywalker saga, because Star Wars is not just about the Skywalkers, and the movies are not just about that. Okay, you guys hear me rant about this all the fucking time, but I will. Well, wrapped up with the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, aside from finishing up the stories seeded by Star Wars creator George Lucas. I'm sorry, so I don't like that word seeded, because if he seeded this, we would have some magnificent stories. That's all I have to say about that. That would have blossomed well. They fucking took those seeds out, cast them aside. That's the EU, the original lore and legends. They cast them the fuck aside and planted their own shit. All right. The Rise of Skywalker is also notable for being the first Star Wars feature with a Black female second unit director. All right, so yeah, you put them in the background. Okay, we're gonna hire someone. Let's just put them in the background because the Wowman card, because they're there. They're the token.
I bet she's really proud to be connected to this now, huh? You use this woman to set yourself up on a platform of unearned moral superiority, right? Like you use this woman's blackness to assert how woke and wonderful you were. And I guarantee she's like over there sitting in the background, like trying to push her hair into her face, like, I don't fucking know these guys. I'm so sorry. I have anything to do with this. Please stop talking about me. Please stop talking about me.
She's the fucking token Black woman right there. And that's friggin' sad. That's racist of Kathleen Kennedy.
Congratulations.
It is.
Why you care about what she looks like? Oh, wait, you're woke. That's right. You're racist.
Exactly. The Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams hired Victoria Mahoney after calling fellow filmmaker Ava DuVernay, who joined the Disney family by directing A Wrinkle. Okay, thank you, darling. A Wrinkle in Time, to ask for a list of potential female directors. Let's just write that.
That is not the woman you want to ask.
And the thing is like, okay, we'll give you names. Who cares if they fucking qualify?
Never mind. Never mind.
As long as there's a vagina, they qualify.
As long as that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for my phone call. I'm probably going to be significantly cheaper than anyone else.
We've got lots of vagine here. Pick any of us. We're totally qualified.
I have a degree in this shit. I can do it.
I would not direct shit for them.
I can fix it. I get complete creative control. I will tell him I get complete creative control. I get to hire the people that I want, and I will make you guys fucking money, and I will fix all of your damn problems.
No,
they won't be in the red still.
My dear
Disney, are you listening? Are you out there, Disney?
No, but here's the problem. Here's the problem, guys. Yours isn't the vagina that they want because they don't actually care about women. What they care about is looking progressive, not whether or not they have Star Wars fans who happen to be women that are cringing their asses off at the shit that they're putting out there. Never mind all of the women who are legitimately pissed off at the degradation to characters that we have loved for our entire lifetimes. Never mind about all of that. They're really, really, really concerned with basically looking as good as they think that they can look. Because
what about male directors that now are women, like the Wachowski brothers? Or Wachowski, how do you say Wachowski brother? I forget how to say their names, but yeah. So my biggest concern at this point now is, what if Rian Johnson's like, hey guys,
oh my God,
I'm feeling mighty female.
We
today.
could totally do a little Amber Heard and snip the tip, and it would help him. We could do that.
There you go.
I don't think there'd be much left after this.
I think it's very certainly not 2020 to be believing that you should be hiring only women, because what about all of the women who believe that they are men? What about all the men who believe are the women? What about
once they believe they're a man, they no longer count?
Okay.
All right, let's go on with this.
Sorry to go on a tangent. Just seems like if they're going to embrace the gender fluidity thing, it certainly seems like a shame to promote this kind of stuff.
Exactly. They don't know which way they want to go. They are like chickens with their heads cut off. Seriously.
Yes, or vagina.
All right, let's let her get to the good.
Sorry,
where KK goes. Where KK
DuVernay had only one name for the lost, co-creator, Victoria Mahoney. Sorry. Mahoney joined The Rise of Skywalker to direct the second unit, a crew responsible for things like establishing shots, stunts, and inserts. Well, they weren't very impressive, darling. Something were. You couldn't even coordinate a damn lightsaber duel.
Just one damn saber duel. My life. Sorry.
They can't even direct people to, with the lightsabers with sticks. They look like they're batting shit up. It's
Ooh, piñata. Da, 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 da.
In April of 2018, Still, Kennedy's initiative to diversify the film talent pool didn't end there. Next, she hired Deborah Chow. Well, then I love Deborah. She'd proven herself. You hire someone for their skills, no matter if they're what their gender is and what their race is, and let them prove themselves. I loved her episode.
And she said, "Don't judge me as a female director. Judge me as a director." That is that's quality character for me in Hollywood. You don't see that very often.
That's humbleness too, because she's like, I just want to show you what I can give and deliver.
And that's confidence right there. That's confidence in your talent and your ability, and regardless of what gender you happen to be rocking, right? So shouldn't we be lifting up women like that? Women who don't give a damn, they actually can compete with the men and don't use their vagina to push themselves forward. That's what we should be promoting here. That's how it should be. That's equality, people.
And confidence is very sexy too. Okay. All right. So Deborah Chow for an episode of Disney plus Star Wars The Mandalorian, which is already in production on its second season. Chow's hiring made her the first woman to direct a live action story in 42 years history of the franchise. I'm going to add to that. Disney did not have any live action story or series before this. Yeah, there was the Ewoks Adventures, but that wasn't a series. This is the first time. So saying something like Disney or George did this in the past, that's moot.
Yep. It doesn't matter. This is the first fucking live action one that anybody's done, let alone a woman. Why the hell are you pointing at this? It doesn't make any damn sense. Like, why are you this is the first woman to direct a live action story in the franchise history. Yeah, this is the first live action story in the franchise history, you dumbass.
And they make George Lucas.
And she wasn't one of the first. Bryce Dallas Howard, who we are just conveniently not mentioning because her episode was kind of shitty. Where's her mention? She's got a vagine. Why aren't we talking about her? You know,
we are getting to her right now.
Before you do that, I gotta say, what's funny is she doesn't know how many she has. She's like, we got 3 or 4 or whatever.
And then later she's like 6 out of 8.
I don't know. We got tons of them.
I've collected a few. Okay, I've collected a few.
Guys. We all synced up and we bitch at the same time of the month.
She's collecting vajayjay. She's just a nasty woman. I'm sorry. All right.
She really is.
Actress Bryce Dallas Howard, there she is, who also directed an episode of The Mandalorian, which I did not care for.
That was one of the worst episodes.
Exactly.
And that in of itself, you have Deborah Chow and Dallas Bryce. That is why you don't judge strictly on what's below the belt. The quality of the director is what makes it great or not what's below the belt. God damn it. I mean, if that was true, then Dallas Bryce Howard would have nailed it out of the park, right?
Well, and we're so tired of saying this shit. We feel like we're screaming into the wind, but they keep reasserting it. They keep reasserting this nonsense over and over and over again. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting to have to point out that one woman can do a fantastic job and another can do a terrible job. And it has nothing to do with the virtue of their gender, right? Why do we have to keep saying this over and over again? Well, because they keep asserting it, because they keep doubling down like she does here.
The infallible nature of a woman. We're totally infallible.
Yeah, and then we get abusers now that abuse men, and people just overlook it because of women. All right. The BBC News caught up with Kennedy on the BAFTA Awards red carpet, which is foolish shit. That's a participation award. Kennedy did not do anything to make this company successful. She fired multiple directors. She had multiple reshoots and rewrites. That's not successful as a producer.
And now Obi-Wan Kenobi's getting fucked.
People literally walked out of the jobs that she's offering.
6 months in, and you don't realize that one TV show is almost identical to the other one. Obi-Wan protecting baby Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, what does that sound like? Mando.
She didn't read the scripts.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that she had the scripts, but she had no idea what the hell she was doing. Why didn't you stop? Because she has no idea what she's doing.
I think this is a perfect opportunity for them just to explore the Force and explore, Obi-Wan, maybe every few episodes, he checks in on Luke. Let me get my little binoculars. Let's go out into the Dune Sea. We'll mess with some Jawas. Let me go into town. Let me do my grocery shopping.
Yeah.
It could just be him in the desert, just connecting with different aspects of the Force, and you can just do a different episode introducing new Force abilities that he's being taught to by Qui-Gon. Maybe Yoda's
Qui-Gon.
I like the idea of them exploring the Tusken Raiders culture because they have some really cool stuff too.
Yeah, I just know about that from Code School.
You look,
have Obi-Wan go fight the beast, the dragon thing, get the pearl, go to the sand people, present the pearl, and he gets to learn all the stories, and just don't insult them or introduce any new theories because they'll kill you.
I wouldn't mind seeing him.
Season 1, him trying to learn more about the Tusken Raiders.
I wouldn't mind seeing him struggle with the notion that his entire life, everything that he grew up believing and knowing, has been completely and utterly wiped away. How do you deal with every basis for your identity being stripped from you? How do you cope with something like that? This story is absolutely ripe for the picking here, for people to become utterly emotionally invested in the struggle that this man has to endure. There are so many routes you could have taken with this. This is an incredibly brilliant place to explore, and you gotta go fucking Mando with him? What the hell? What the actual hell?
And then, like I said, the Kenobi novel is a great resource to pull through if people don't get mad at them with the exploration of the Tusken Raiders, because he has that issue with Ayark or Plug Eye and stuff. I mean, there's so much adventures in that novel alone that they can get inspiration from, but no source material.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's fucking frustrated. All right, let's go on, ladies. Let's do this. Where the producer headed inside to receive the prestigious BAFTA Fellowship Award, her participation award, because she's a woman. She renewed her commitment to hiring a female director, and here we go, for a future Star Wars theatrical release. I think just her alone is enough drama as it is. We don't need a theatrical piece from Star Wars. We've got 2 or 3 fantastic women working with Star Wars, Kennedy said. And we just brought in Deborah Chow, who is doing Obi-Wan series.
Yeah, you take that credit. Yeah, okay. I'm sure Jon Favreau had nothing to do with that. Okay, sorry. Fuck that.
Yep. When asked if a Star Wars movie will get a female director soon, Kennedy says, "Oh, absolutely, without a question." Well, she's been saying that since, 2012?
I don't know why we care.
I don't care.
What blows my mind? Well, I'll let you read the end of it because I know what the end of it says, and I
All right, so we're not going to get into this tweet about the BAFTA because I can give a shit about that. Kennedy's mission to diversify Lucasfilm, again, diversify because it wasn't diversified before, has been a key focus during her time as the company's president. In 2015, Kennedy boasted about the executive change she had made at Lucasfilm to ensure that half the team would be female. That's why I have shitty stories. 6 out of 8. Again, that's why we have shitty stories.
I don't care if they're female. I don't care if they're female. I care if they know the freaking material. If they care about these characters, that's what I care about. I want the people that you hire to give a shit about what they're doing.
Okay, 6 out of people in my story group are women because they only qualified because of their VJJ. That's all. I think it's making a huge difference because of their VJJ in the kind of stories we're trying to tell.
I bet it's making a huge difference. It looks great, honey. You're doing great. You're doing great. Good job.
Kennedy said at the time. A year later, Kennedy said again that she thinks there are many female directors who have the potential to direct a Star Wars movie. Dude, does she not realize that when George had it, he sought out the best people for it? It didn't matter who it was.
Yeah. That would be too easy.
Yeah. And I've talked to most of them. At this point, it seems like an inevitability, and I cannot speak that word right now. I cannot language, that a woman will helm a Star Wars feature film in the near future. Kennedy's been working on this issue for years. Exactly. That's what I pointed out, darling. And might already know who she wants to hire. The bigger issue is that the entire future of the franchise seems to be in flux as Kennedy and her team figures out where to take Star Wars series next. And I'm going to add to this an article, and I need to find it. Basically, Ewan McGregor basically studied the Mandalorian scripts to get him prepared for Obi-Wan. Now, I find that very interesting.
Well, can we focus on, just for a second here, can we focus on at least Screen Rant had the ability to point out what the actual issue that we need to be acknowledging here right now is, that Star Wars is fucked. It's absolutely fucked. Why are we worried about getting a female director in place specifically when your Star Wars is screwed right now? When you don't have your basic look, if you want to bring in a female director, that's fine. That's great. I'm absolutely thrilled if the best person for the job happens to be a female. Good for her. Good for you. That's great. But at the end of the day, I didn't go to that theater because it gave a shit about whether or not there was a vagina on the person who directed the film. I went to that theater because I cared about the characters who I showed up for, because Star Wars means something to me. Not as a female, not as a person with a vagina. I am a person, period. And my name is Anakin. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And I love Star Wars. I don't give a shit about the rest of it. There are plenty of strong, empowered female characters all littered throughout Star Wars for me to not be worried about it. But you're fucking those characters and those stories over because you're way more concerned with how you look politically.
You know, I find it ripe that we have people these days acting all high and mighty because they collect minorities and women like Pokemon. You know, back in the day, Mitt Romney, he said he had binders of women and he got railed for that. And he was just talking about how much, he appreciated all of the women that he would have, in his his campaign or whatever. And I just find it hilarious now that women talking about all the women they've collected because of vagine. Good for you. Great for you. Go, this is so good. It's just funny the way things turn like that. I don't understand it.
I don't even understand how I got here. I really did any of you ever ask for this shit?
Oh, hell no.
I never asked for any of this shit. I don't want it.
No. I don't care. I don't care who they, I don't care what they look like under the belt. I don't care who they have sex with. I don't care. I don't care, what they do when they are not directing. I just want a good goddamn Star Wars film. That's all I want. That's all I want.
I don't recall ever needing anybody to white knight for my ass. I don't recall needing anybody to get me anywhere, right? Like if I wanted something or was going to pursue something, I'd go and get it my damn self, right? I didn't need a chick up on screen or behind the camera to make me feel better about my freaking vagina, as if it were some kind of plague that I needed to be ashamed of or something, as if it were something that people had ridiculed me my entire life for having. That's not a thing. It's never happened. And you're not making...
And way to objectify us by, qualifying us by our anatomy. Again, that is not progressive. The left wing does not approve of that type of progressivism. They came out against the pussy hat because a lot of people were upset about that. A lot of people believing that they are female and not having that hat. I just think that this whole idea is going to backfire, as it already has before, of qualifying people for positions based on anatomical features. Fuck you, Disney. Get it right.
I have this thing. Okay, so what the fuck is making them qualify? Are they writing with their vajayjays, the stories?
Ew! Ew! God damn it! Visuals, fucking. Oh.
Found to be really messy, potentially it's very unsanitary if you think about it. Let's face.
Well, okay, there's more.
There are artists that do write with their vaginas, and it's disgust. It's fucking gross.
Okay, so I went. This one girl that I went to high school with, she got caught in computer lit class fingering herself with a Sharpie.
Ah.
And so everyone just called her Sharpie Girl. And I'm just like, oh, like this. I remember because the teacher was like this really elderly woman, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's like the worst person. Like, how do you handle that situation? So when you said that, my mind was immediately like Sharpie girl.
We're back to high school.
PTSD.
I'm just like,
Your face looked like you were a million miles away too. I was like,
She's pinky and pinky.
oh my god.
Damn.
all right, we want to wrap up this one and move on to the final oil of Olay. I don't know if you saw that, Anna, or not. The oil of the Super Bowl oil of Olay commercial.
I haven't seen anything.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Oh, girl. If you felt so empowered before, this is gonna make you feel so damn empowered. Okay.
Am I gonna throw up?
Oh, I love it when they force you new things to get behind and to, believe in and stuff like that. Cause it's like, I can't wait to talk about it. It's gonna be great.
We do have a couple super chats we're gonna get to here. I know Tom's probably kicking himself like in the background, like, Mary, fucking shut up. So we got a $2 super chat from Trace X Sally says, KK, I'm progressive. See, I have black friends.
And I can count them on 2 hands.
Oh my god, I love that. Yeah, you're totally cute. You can still be racist if you have black friends, but KK is literally throwing out, guys, we had a black director person who did stuff. Aren't we progressive? Jesus, you hypocritical twats.
They say that, but then like everyone that they hire to do their movies are white men, like middle-aged white men.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm like, who directed Star Wars? Oh, JJ. Okay, well, he's Jewish, but he's still a white dude.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Johnson. Oh, wow, white dude.
Yeah, and it's amazing though. All those movies sucked, and it didn't matter what their gender was, right?
Exactly.
I'm just like, you had the opportunity to make a black man the forefront character, the leading man in your movies, which would have been so fucking interesting. Let's get a turned stormtrooper, and then. But they just completely discard Finn, the most interesting character out of the new characters, and they just make him the comedic relief. It's such bullshit.
It's because KK was in charge of everything, and it had to be about the JJ. It had to be,
Mm-hmm.
So Matt G for $2 says JJ wrote with his vajayjay.
Vajayjay Abrams. Remember
JJ
that?
Abrams, yeah.
Probably what made her want to go back to him, because his name sounded so close to vagina. She's like, yeah, that's the guy. If I can't have a real vagina on set, I'll have one that sounds like it.
Yeah, StreamYards is an asshole, and it just made me lose a bunch of super chats here. Gray Ghost, where'd it go? God damn dirty mother. It just, I'm so pissed at StreamYards right now.
On
Tom's being a toxic male. It's a thing. The access is.
I am so pissed at StreamYards right now. I've lost, I don't know how many of them here. And I don't have access to the other ones. That's the problem. The Shiado sent us $5. Why don't you ever mention the Academy Award George's wife won for editing in Star Wars back in the 70s? We do all the time, actually, but usually when we're bitching about George Lucas. Matt G sent us $2. KK needs a female director to finish episode 9. They're still shooting that. Ryan Landis sends us $2. Ewan McGregor is out. Brie Larson as Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. I can't. Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
There was another $10 one and a $20 one here. Let me hang on.
I think Gray Ghost was the $20 one, but I don't know what he said.
I know it disappeared on me. I don't know what the hell it went.
So
it's like totally gone. So is that $10 one.
I got Gray Ghost $20, $19.99.
You got that? Go ahead and read it.
Ray, Jin, Phasma, Maz, Rose, Kira, Holdo, L337 or Elite if you're OG. Zori and Jana toys gathered dust on shelves. Chow sent home no female screenwriters. Mara, Jaina, Bastilla made legends because no source material. KK gets award.
KK gets, dude, I would have given anything back.
Thank you.
I would have given anything to see Bastila up on screen with Revan. Yeah. I would have loved that with every fiber of my being. And now all I can do is cringe and pray to God they don't touch my freaking Bastila.
I lost the $10 one. So whoever sent that, if you could just re-copy and paste it. You don't have to send it the money-wise again, but
Yeah, just let us know what you said, dude.
I can't
There's
find
an
it.
interesting chat from Soul Assassin. He says, OG Star Wars, Abrams likes to use Sharpies, just saying.
Oh, but
I'll recognize your picture, but I can't remember the name. I apologize.
you guys are gonna make Anna vomit.
Poor Anna.
You're Jesus, Lord have mercy.
We love you, Anna.
Can we please stop traumatizing this girl?
I just want to stop picturing it because then it's like if my mind goes places and I'm a visual person, so I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love this from Matt G for $2. He says, just announced Lucasfilm purchase. It's StreamYard, but yeah, we hear you, man. Yeah, they're trying to shut us down, y'all. It's going down. All right, well, let's go ahead and we'll scoot into our final bit for the night.
Did we get JJ wrote with his JJ for $2?
Yeah, we got that one, but there's a $10 one that disappeared on me.
Yeah, we'll wait for that to come back up, and we will definitely adjust it.
And Hugo from Uruguay sent Uruguayan 22 Uruguayans. Super chat sticker. So thank you, Hugo.
Yeah, the stickers don't show up in StreamYards.
Okay.
So, all right. Do you have the video pulled up, the Olay commercial?
I do. Could you pull that up for me? I have some supplemental stuff ready to go, but I do not have that because I wasn't sure until we just got on about if I could use it.
That is not a problem. Give me 2 seconds here, and I will. No problem. Right up. This seriously. Now, I would suggest we pause it. I'm going to obviously pause it at key moments for you, but this is so ripe for the picking here. Hold on.
I'm gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it. I am so ready. And I didn't watch the Super Bowl because the Dallas Cowboys weren't in it. So I didn't know anything about this until I was told about it today. And the Chiefs won. Oh
yeah, my family's a Chiefs fan.
So I do have a video coming out on this tomorrow to break this down. But Candace has got some stuff. Like she's got some statistics and stuff.
I looked up some things because I was interested to find out who was in this commercial and what are their things that they stand for, and what the real statistics say about what they're getting behind with this message, and what maybe could be better things that they could be talking about instead of this bullshit. So I'm ready to break it down.
Yeah,
let's take a look at it.
I got it in the back. There we go. All right. So look at all that. So we'll probably preface with this lady in the middle here. That's a legit astronaut, people. Keep that in mind. Okay. Just keep that in mind while you watch this mess. So.
Is there enough space in space for women? Who wrote that? Are people really still asking that question?
I'm going to pause it. I've got to pause it because I don't want to necessarily run the risk of a claim or whatever.
I mean, some women might need more space, if you catch my drift. But generally speaking.
Why the hell are we asking that question? Why is that a question? That's not a free question.
Oh, maybe they'll explain it better to us. Continue.
Operation Make Space for Women is ready for liftoff.
Does that look like a tampon to anybody else?
And they're in red.
I like how the two people in the front are like acting like, oh my god, but the one real astronaut in the back is like, you guys are fucking morons.
Who invited them? Who invited these tampons?
You dumbass bitches.
Mission Control. Taraji P. Henson here. We have the opposite of a problem.
I would say we do have the opposite of a problem because this is not a thing. This is not a thing.
Yeah, the opposite of a problem would be a non-issue or not a problem, which is ultimately what this commercial is about.
So much space up here. Well, I could have told you that.
Oh, could you now?
Corny.
It's almost like there are already female astronauts. I'm sorry. Okay, go on.
When we make space for women, we make space for everyone.
Because it's about equality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Make
One
space
tweet
for women.
equals $1 to girls who code. What does this button do? Eject.
Yeah. So way to like completely take away from your entire ad, Olay, by making the women look fucking stupid, hitting the eject button and flailing around like fish out of water up there. That just totally negated their entire message, and a lot of the progressives are quite pissed about the ending.
And we
of
do
this.
that with Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
To shoot her out there a lot.
Oh God. All right. Well, let me get my shit pulled up here, I guess, so I can just go ahead and start talking about how fun this is in all sorts of ways. Let me see. Where's my screen share? Boop. Screen share. And then we're going to do a tab. And then, yeah. So let's just first, I want to first talk about here we go. I'm sharing this. Okay. Can y'all see that? All right. There we go. Tom, there we go. All right. So how about this? First all-woman spacewalk. That happened in October. Okay. That's what real women astronauts look like, by the way. That perfectly coiffed hair that they tried to sell you on some bullshit Olay problem that women aren't in space. There's no women in space and whatever. Okay, so here was this. That was in April, or I mean, that was in October. The first female astronaut, 1978, was Sally Kristen Ride. Okay, this is what really just pissed me off here. I don't know if you can. Let's see. Does it show my new tab at all that I can? Let me see if I can do my new tab here. Screen share. This Chrome tab. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So here's an issue. This is a real issue, guys. This is the number of cohorts in the NASA graduating classes. Okay, male to female ratio. Take a gander. All right. In the 50s and 60s up to almost the 70s. Yeah, we got 100% male. Go fucking figure. Okay. Yeah, so let's go down to 2017, and I'm sure it's different now. 2017, fucking 55% male, 45% female. Why the fuck is this an issue that we have to talk about?
Well,
who the fuck cares? It's almost fucking even.
For almost 10 fucking years, it's been even, right? For almost 10 years, it's been even. I'm sorry, but I do not need you, Oil of Olay, to empower me to go be a fucking astronaut.
And donate $500,000 to girls who code or whatever the hell that is to promote. I'm sorry, but this is a total non-issue. I'm so happy that they found something stupid and bloviated to just to throw out there, because there's nothing that's like a real serious issue they could attach themselves to. This is fucking shallow and stupid. Now let's talk about. Sorry, continue.
I'm sorry, but this is also really, really demeaning to women who did this shit way before they got here.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on the bandwagon about 40 fucking years too late, Oil of Olay. Because all of this time you were just really pre-concerned with how we looked as women and our cosmetics and all of that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for empowering women and doing everything that you could to get us here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind that you haven't got shit to do with that. So you can take your free advertisement that you would have gotten from all of the tweets and the $1 that you would have donated to every girl who ever uses the hashtag. Whenever time you tweet something out that uses the hashtag make space for women, you can shove that right the hell up your ass, because I don't need you. You're a little late to the party. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't really care about women. You don't really care about supporting them and putting them out there. What you care about is your free advertisement, and you care about convincing people that while you stand up there on your platform of unearned moral superiority, never mind all of the women who did the work that it took to get here in the first place. You're just a little too fucking late. And I'm sorry, this is just a little too much like the Gillette commercial for me to give a flying fuck about anything you put up on that screen. I'm sorry, I don't care.
And just to talk about a couple of the actresses that are on here, Busy Phillips, the blonde, she was also on, what is that show? Oh god damn it, the one that, God Fuck. I was so ready for this. And then now the one that
You've been taking that codeine, y'all.
that girl, I know. I'm Candace on codeine tonight. What was that one girl's name? Michelle Williams. What show was she on?
Michelle
Williams.
Wasn't she? Well, I don't know.
Back in the Michelle Williams when she first started out.
In the Odyssey.
Tennis player?
No, it was like a. God damn it. No, Michelle Williams, the one that talked about her abortion.
The one who sings "Save the Best"
Oh,
for
yes.
Oh,
what was the show she was on when she was younger? That was really popular.
I don't know.
God, well, it's the same one that Busy Phillips was on, and Busy Phillips happens to also tout her abortion she had at 15. Super excited about it, no regrets. Started the hashtag. The hashtag. What was it? This will only hurt a little, or some bullshit. Has a whole book about it and stuff. So go women. This is definitely someone you should have supporting this Olay, female astronauts need a space or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it was just like, I have no regrets. I never wanted a baby anyway. And it's basically the same thing Michelle Williams said. It was like, I understand, to each their own, but God damn it, what a platform to just have out there like that. It's so stupid. And this will only hurt a little.
Do you mean Step by Step?
No.
I read she was on Lassie, but I didn't pull up the.
That was a movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not
All right,
finding
now
it.
you're making
Home
me look it
Improvement
up.
she was on, and Step by Step.
Yeah.
No. She was on. She was Busy Phillips was also on. What is that fucking show?
Dawson's Creek.
Yes.
Dawson's Creek. I'm looking.
Yes, she was on that one. Okay, so she was good friends with Michelle Williams.
So how many people got knocked up on that show then?
Apparently, well, there's two out of two right there.
Well, let's catch up on some of these super chats real super quick.
Yeah,
DJ Fox says with $2, hail Anna, hail Cecil, back cash grab. All right, so do that. I've seen the little cartoon that Cecil had up there. It's kind of hilarious.
Okay.
I know there's a couple more here. Let's see if we can get them all.
I did put them in private chat.
Santa, in case we missed any. Santa Baby said $5. They're women spreading so much they need to go into literals.
Yeah. They're broad.
Craig Ghost sends another $1.99. Thumbs up for hot pink cockpits. There you go. I can deal with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. I know there's a couple more here. Let's see. We also had Tracy Doctor sent $10. Thanks all for all you do, and we appreciate the $10. So thank you. Let's see. What else did I miss here? Trace XL sent $2. I'd bet money Silly Singh wrote that garbage. Okay.
Lily, she meant Lily Singh.
She did write
one
Lily
of the actresses.
Singh. Yeah, did I say that wrong? I'm sorry. Matt G sent $2. Just announced Lucasfilm purchased Streamlabs. Okay, I must have missed the joke there. And Trace XL sent $10. Can these brain dead morons please do a Google search? Women have been kicking ass for decades, and it's not stopping anytime soon. And this just in, men love you for it. Get it? Yeah, it's just the stupidity of it all.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this. I love that they have Katie Couric on there, who was like besties with Matt Lauer, who did some pretty disgusting shit on NBC that a lot of the people didn't know about when he was doing it. And just another great representative for the female cause up on display with Oil of Olay. So well done. Fucking
and this
stupid.
From Steven Saucedo, one of the two female astronauts in the space program, was a teacher in the 80s. She was on the space shuttle Challenger in 1986. And rest in peace, the crew of the space shuttle Challenger. May they live forever. And
Nicole Strott. That was her. Yep.
What about Sally Ride?
and
Sally Ride was 78. Yes.
Yes, and when they start screaming this woman bullshit that they've been doing in this generation, they tend to discredit all the women from the past that made that significant mark for the women to pursue something like that. They act like they never existed.
Pick a real fucking cause, for crying out loud. $500,000 to girls who code, and you think you're stunning and brave for doing that? And yeah, that's something we can get behind. How about the opioid epidemic? How about the suicide epidemic? How about something that actually matters, for fuck's sake? This is Gillette 2.0.
Yes.
This is so stupid. And I hope that they have the same decline in sales that Gillette had after their stupidity.
I generally
use them.
I get my moisturizer from Oil of Olay because I feel like it does a damn good job, right? Like, and look, I'm not knocking the products right now, but I typically will, instead of getting like, say, the Walmart brand or something like that, I will go with the Oil of Olay. But you can kiss that shit goodbye for a while, because the fact of the matter is I'm not going to sit here and support this kind of woke nonsense. You've made me feel used. You've made me feel degraded. You've sat there and you've basically written off all of the work that was done by women before. Like, make space for women, as if space wasn't already for fucking everyone, let alone women, right?
Yeah.
Like 10 fucking years.
Space is for assholes.
10 years. We're like closing in on the 10-year mark where it's been 50-50. What the fuck do you want? What do you want? It's not necessary to keep pushing this shit. So
I don't give a shit. Women can go up and die in space just like men. I don't give a shit.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to be toxic. We are taking too much space because of this feminist, third wave feminist movement that's going on. We need to make space for the men that are committing suicide and going through trauma because of this movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one last thing I wanted to share. I just love the glorious backfire of all this bullshit, because, of course, if you can share my screen, I just want to show what the tweets really are about it right now. That Olay commercial was one step forward, 5 steps back. They had to end up ditzy and eject into space. Really? Ad was great until the eject. Maybe this thing is great, but no one in the production meeting for the Olay ad thought maybe they shouldn't have the women accidentally eject themselves into space. Yeah. So, I think it's hilarious. Like, they can't. Women are strong, capable, and apparently can't bother to learn how to not eject themselves into the vacuum of space. They ended ruining the message of the commercial. I don't know which one to tweet for money, since they only showed it once, and which one makes sure we become smart enough to not eject ourselves into space, as you know women do. So here are both: Girls Who Code and Make Space for Women. Just like, ad was great.
Did she really just say that for seriousness?
Yes.
Like, for reals.
They did kind of miss the mark on the stupidity of it all.
Like, no, for reals, like it wasn't a joke, for reals.
Tweeting for the donation, because every time they tweet Make Space for Women, they add Oil of Olay gives $1 up to $500,000 to Girls Who Code. So everybody's doing this Make Space for Women, but they're also including hashtag eject because of how pissed they are about how they ended the fucking commercial. Yeah, hitting the eject makes people think that they haven't gotten past the stereotype of women.
But here, it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand with the mentality that they think you're like. They think women are so stupid and so incapable of making this progress on their own without their stupid fucking commercial, that they think we're not smart enough to recognize the fact that you just ejected these women into space. Like, you treated the women in your commercial.
Say it right.
What, ejected?
In space.
No, like, seriously, this is the mentality. The people who made this commercial think women are stupid, okay? They legitimately think women are dumb because they think that we need their help to get to space. Never mind, we got there long before they did. And then they pointed out in their own commercial, is that really a thing? Are people even really talking? No, they're not. It's not a thing. It's not a thing, but just because you pointed out how ridiculous it is in your stupid fucking commercial doesn't make it any less offensive.
Like, commercial ends by suggesting women are too inept for space travel as they accidentally eject themselves from the space. Hashtag what the fuck. I just think it's great. Yeah. Why the eject button scene? You were so close with that. Hashtag make space for women.
What's this button here? Should I press it? What does it do?
Anyway, I just had to share that because that is the silver lining to this stupidity. I don't know how else to say it. It's so fucking stupid, and I'm on codeine, so here I am.
Space, like Tim Curry. Sorry.
Yes.
Trace XL sends us $5. Make space for women to learn to read instructions. Really, Olay? Really? Oh, Lord.
They were so close.
At least we know how to read a fucking map.
So close.
And sadly, Chuck E. Cheese, you are right, but that's only because they didn't allow women to be in the military back then either. So.
Well, and look, I think that's something that like women sort of tend to downplay all the time is that, we got to get all that equality out there for women, but never mind that women aren't doing the massive amount of the majority of the dying that is required in order to keep, things running, right? Like out on oil rigs or out on the battlefield or whatever scenario. Women aren't the ones in the freaking sewage system out there sifting through people's literal shit. Women aren't the ones doing that stuff. And look, we're grateful to you men for doing it because I'm not going to lie. I don't think I'd get the job done. I think I would just add a little barf to the mixture.
Exactly. I'd be like, someone clean up, come to.
Can someone come clean me up too, please?
And McKinney90 sends us $2, and I'm going to do this in my movie voice. In space, no one can hear you virtue signaling, and I still fucked it up. I fuck it up every time. I think we lost Anna, but we're getting close to the end of our show.
Some food.
I thought she was grabbing some grub. I don't
we're
want
gonna start wrapping this up anyway, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah. So I'll go ahead and I'll give my, if you'd like. So like I said, I have a video coming out on this tomorrow. The kind of it's a lot more concise. Obviously, we're doing a live stream right now here, so we're gonna get into it with all of that. But just sort of my feelings on all of this is I'm kind of insulted. I'm kind of insulted that you think that by virtue of my vagina, right, that like this progressive notion, this progressive ideology, because I have a vagina, that I will all of a sudden be behind.
Hit the eject button.
Yeah, well, not just the eject button, but that I will be behind.
Have it come shooting out.
That I would be behind it. There are
my vagina.
There are 1,000,001 things that you could have promoted here, that you could have done to actually help the world around you. But the fact of the matter is that I just don't think this is one that's particularly important, because at the end of the day, I don't believe in equity. I believe in equality. All right. I don't believe that it's important to push girls into a field that they might not otherwise have interest in. I think at the end of the day, what's important to do is to support individuals in their endeavors. And if I have a daughter who wants to go into coding, who wants to go into space, who wants to do these kinds of things, I'll support her in that, because I believe she's capable and strong enough to do whatever it is that she wants to do, or that she will certainly have the grit to pursue it, right? Do or do not, there is no try. I could teach her that, I would do that for my daughter, or for any girl who might come to me personally and maybe need mentoring in how to have some measure of self-confidence. But pushing the notion that we need to get more girls into this stuff when you already have a 50-50 ratio and have had a 50-50 ratio for closing in on 10 years now, and we got there without your help. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I'm not behind that. I'm just not behind that. And I'm not going to support your woke narrative, because I don't need your help, Oil of Olay. I'm a strong, empowered whammon.
Whammon.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but did you happen to see the ad?
No.
Oh.
No, I went inside, I had to pee, and then my boyfriend was home and I hadn't seen him all day, so he was making dinner.
So stupid, they eject themselves into space.
Yeah.
Make space for women. Just don't make eject buttons for women, because they gonna push that shit.
Drew Skull brings up another good point here with $5. Miss Piggy was one of the best OG feminists. She loved Kermie, and you didn't fuck with her. Not only that, she was in space. Pigs in space.
Yeah, there you go.
We get it.
In space.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's better in space. All right, well, we're going to take off here, guys. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to thank Anna for popping in here and taking the time to hang out with the ladies.
I was just
joining us.
I was editing stuff, and I saw you guys were live, and I'm waiting for that Nick Rekieta stream tonight. So Oh, I was like,
All right.
oh, I'll pop in. I'll see, have something in the background while I edit this video. And then you guys were like, oh, come on. And I was like, oh, thank you.
You're awesome.
Getting a lot of great praise in the chat for you stopping by. So glad to have you here. And of course,
sorry I left for like 15 minutes.
oh, whatever. As always, the ladies do a fine job. So why don't you guys tell them where they can find you? Of course, I already shared your link in the chat. Anna told the folks out there to subscribe to you. But OG Star Wars Girl, tell them a little bit about yourself, and I'll throw your link in the chat.
Why, hello, everyone. This is OG Star Wars, your Legends girl, trying to make it in this discounted world. And you can find me here on YouTube, OG Star Wars. And guess what, you guys? We're pushing 1,000 subscribers. Let's do this. And I got a great idea of a new video, George versus Kennedy, on the production of Star Wars. So stay tuned for that. You can find me on Twitter as well, OG Star Wars AB. Glad to be here with you guys. Glad to discuss this topic that seriously needs to be discussed. You guys have a great night.
All right. And Geeky Candy, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and where they can find you.
So I'm Candace, aka Geeky Candy. I have a Twitter, I have a YouTube, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook, I have all of the things. You can find me at Geeky Candy. I am back from Vegas, and I won't let this bronchitis get me down. I'm going to be doing some videos and some content this week, including playing some video games. So catch me outside on my YouTube channel this week, and we will chat. Yeah.
Awesomeness. All right. And last but not least, the mistress of ceremonies, the master of mayhem.
Yeah,
Mary B.
I'm sitting over here ticked. Candace teased me with codeine. Alora teased me with taquitos. And now Anna's teasing me with noodles. This is bullshit. So
I have nothing to tease you with.
Hi, guys. I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where I talk about newsy news stuff during the week. You can also find me over on Geeks and Gamers, as well as here every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, hey, feel free to come check me out.
All right.
Yeah, Geeks and Gamers is the...
Yeah, and of course we want to thank Anna once again for stopping in. And of course you're always welcome. Anytime. Oh, we got one more super chat just before we go. Kai MFS sends us $5. Thank you, ladies, for keeping me company while I cook dinner. Good night. There you go. There's a real man cooking dinner.
There you go.
I bet it's going to be a lot more intricate than mine.
I just want noodles now.
This is my second one.
All right, and hopefully we didn't miss any super chats. If we did, I apologize. You got 10 seconds to repost them real quick if I missed any super chats. Again,
Kai MFS, thank you, ladies, for did we
just got that one.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry,
I was just saying for any of them before, in case I did miss any more, because I don't think whoever it was that sent that $10 one resent it, so I have no idea what it said.
Thank you, whoever you are that sent it.
Yeah, I remember the picture, but I don't remember the name, and I didn't get to see what it said. So
I bet it was something nice.
yeah, it just all disappeared on me.
Either that or they called us a bunch of twats.
Could have been.
I don't think so. I think we all would have seen that instantly.
I would have heard it.
I don't know. That $20 one disappeared
Best
on me
looking
too.
set of twats on YouTube. I tell you what.
Where's Stig
Whatever.
Kenobi when you need him? He says it so well. All right. So once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank the ladies and everybody. Have a good night.
Proving that the Vandermans isn't just a bunch of toxic males. It's Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge, with Alora OG Star Wars Girl, Geeky Candy, and your hostess with the mostest, Mary Mayhem.